frustrated. You now, instead of correcting your problems, you now run to Satan for solution. When you now run to Satan for solution, he will now give you a wrong answer for escape. So whatsoever you get, he now has right over it. But originally, it is your property and you were the original cause of it. You get a wisdom because these things are mathematics in the spiritual world, which a common man does not see. You come to roadblock based on the limitation of your understanding and awareness. Then you run to Satan because you're exhausted. Now Satan will tell you, okay, I have the solution. He knew that the solution is in you. But because you do not know, he will now stand as a solution. Like what I was telling a woman today. It will stand as a solution. So whatever he now guide you to get, based on the truth he knew beforehand, he will now begin to take credit to that. I was telling you a woman that came for counseling today, I said, you see people in religion, that what no church makes you rich. And I will tell you why. The reason is because they don't have the principle and they don't have the law. But when they come in a group and declare, you are going to be rich, you are going to be successful, this year is going to be your year, then among 21 million people or 1,000 people, plus or minus, people will naturally get their money. And when they get their money naturally, they will come and say it is us. But what we do in the embassy is that we are looking for you as a poor person. When you come, we give you the science and give you time and space, which if you follow the principle, you see yourself before 2 years or 1 year, you are there already. So there is a science backing what we teach up. But to them, there is no science backing it up. So that is still what Satan is doing. Science knows Satan knows the science of wealth. So he's waiting for you who is in error to get frustrated. That's what we said, that secret means see and create. So you'll be waiting. When you hit rock, because he knows, as long as you join a religion, you are going to fail. When you now fail, you start looking for solution. When you come to them, what are they going to give you? They give you that thing which originally you would have gotten. I said it to one of us when I was talking. I said, when you come and go to a witch doctor that you want to make money ritual, they will tell you, don't give your mother money. If you give your mother money, you lose all the money you have gotten from them. All right? Now, what is that thing telling you? If the mother that carry you for 9 months, somebody tells you don't give her money, who else will you give? So it hardened your heart to be economical. That if my mother could not eat my money, my friend will not eat my money, burial will never eat my money because I deny my own mother. So it's make you to be more committed to not spending your money extravagantly. That's all. There is no charm about it. If you give to your mother, nothing will happen to your money. But it's a covenant to harden your heart, not to spend. I say further is to let her know when we're talking that when they tell you, bring the person you love most, is nothing. There is nothing love with ritual. The reason is that if you have killed the one you love most, so if they ask you to kill 50 people, you will kill them and slaughter them. So all these things are trick. They have been playing time without number, but people will not realize. Wealth is not in the hand of Satan. It's not in religion. It's not in praying and fasting. It is in awareness. Awaken your consciousness, rich man. Which we have said, are we fighting God? Do we say that prayer does not work? Then what is prayer? We say there is no charm or prayer as effective as getting things right. Because everything you get right, God is there. So today, we really want to talk about our topic today. You know, all of our talking has been talking about financial this, financial that, financial that. But today's message is titled E-Wealth. E-Wealth. Praise the Lord. E-Wealth. That's going to be the titles of today's message. Now, wealth, look at the spelling now. What is this? Health. What is this? If I got it right. Whether, W-E-A. You see? So all of them is dealing wealth, health, and weather. Is dealing with the earth. They all have a common framework. And we're going to break it down now. Your wealth, no, this is it. Weather. It is ability, whether exists where? On earth. Then your ability to have dominion over physical things. That determines your wealth. Then the earth also, right, which goes with your heart, right? Then, and the things that are in it is what determines your wealth. So you have to have understanding and the consciousness about this thing we're talking about, E-Wealth. E-Wealth means that it is your awareness, your emotion that gives you wealth. Your emotion. Then, what you upload in the spiritual world determines how rich and wealthy you are. A person who is growing up a child, who have not been thinking and meditating over wealth and riches, growing up as a child, cannot grow up and become a rich man. But a child who from childhood have been thinking, meditating, having experiences about life, having trial and error every time, the mind sets, the focus is wealth, money, riches, wealthy, good health, and all that. You know what is happening? Those emotions and feelings is generating, is being uploaded in the spiritual world. When those things that are uploaded in the spiritual world get saturated through what we could say in biology, right? I mean, in agriculture, evaporation and condensation. Those things which you think every day Meditating over it, heaven is uploading that to your emotion. I've told you time without number, emotion is like a smoke. Those things are forming you. Your mindset is forming you. When you finish uploading it, when it gets saturated, then it begins to manifest in the physical world. That is the secret of wealth. Then anybody who did not have that frame mind or mindset growing up as a child, it will take him a U-turn and a period of time to train him that wealth is easy or it is possible to become this and to become that. It will take the person time. So money does not just come because you struggle. Money does not just come because you are making effort. Money comes because it has formed a part of your emotional atmosphere. It has formed a part of your thought pattern. Through your imagination, through your experiences, through your garbages, through your encounter, through your rising and falling, through your consistency and persistency on the facts that this is the way it must be. When you finish uploading it sincerely, then when the rain is about to come, it begins to rain wealth. It begins to rain favor. It begins to rain opportunity. It begins to rain connection. A person who is not conscious of this e-wealth or e-money will now say, you are a lucky person. No. You open the chamber by your emotion and your thought pattern. And the much you uploaded is how it's going to descend. So in desert, why there is no rain in desert is because of what? Because there is no rain on the ground. If there is rain on the ground and there is vegetation on the ground, when the water goes up, it must come down. This is how each individual, that's why I started talking about earth and heart. You remove H in earth, bring it at the back, you get the heart. So your heart is connected to your wealth. Your heart is connected to your wealth. Wealth is W-E-A-L-T-H. Heart is what? H-E-A-R-T. Health is E-A-R-T-H. So your wealth is connected to your level of consciousness and awareness. Then if you are a child, growing up a child, thinking of poverty, meditating of poverty, at all time, you are uploading poverty consciousness and creating your own world in the spiritual world. In the emotional atmosphere. When it gets saturated, whatever you put your hand, blockage. So it's like every person who is on earth control rain and weather. Am I communicating with you? When the rain falls, the weather become cloudy and it rains on what? On the earth. Vegetation comes. Then when your heart become fertile and you get loaded, the rain will fall, you become wealthy. You get the computation. So now you are seeing yourself as earth. So everything on earth is made perfect because God is involved in it. Then if you want anything in your life to be perfect, get involved in it. So as rain, God causes rain to fall. So you causes wealth to be in your life through your emotion. I've told you that downpour or rainfall is a condensed divine emotion. Today, we are bringing it into application. So your words is a condensed emotion. So if you are growing up a child thinking poverty, fearing everything, nobody can, the life is a battlefield, a snake that does not swallow, other snake will not grow. You can never get money unless you get committed. All rich people are ritualists. All right? And poverty is a way of serving God, chastity, is that? And all that. Then there is nothing can bail you out of poverty. Even if you see those things you call opportunity, you can never make use of it. Because your heart is already dull in the understanding of how easy it is to be a wealthy person. Is it not in our own time that we came to discover that it is easier to be a rich man than to be a poor man? In our own time. And we scientifically proved it, that the easiest thing on earth is to become a rich man. Now. But to maintain it becomes a problem. And that is why we now brought attitudinal deliverance. That when your consciousness is delivered, you find out that money is easy to maintain. And there is nobody who is solving problem that can be a poor person. So, wealth. This E stands for emotion. That is why in Psalm 119, verse 98, and Psalm 119, verse 89, it says your word is forever settled in heaven. And your word is a lantern unto my feet. Two things. Now, the one that says your word is forever settled in heaven, that is that condensation. Evaporation. So what you have encountered growing up as a child, and you have recorded in your thoughts world, determine how successful you're gonna be when the time comes. Glory be to God. Are we there? So people like us, all our days, we've been thinking how to be great. I knew from childhood I wasn't an ordinary man. From my childhood, I knew it. But I don't know, anyway, how rich or wealthy or great I'm going to be. But I knew for sure, growing up a child, that I'm not an ordinary person. And that is the reason I refuse to identify with myself with anything called error or imperfection. I was always asking the great and the best way. Before my entering into university, I've done no less than 13 businesses. The one I could do affordably. Time might not permit me to name them. But that is that mind set and consciousness of being that great person in your life. Then when God sees this your heart, forget, they will rearrange it and put it in a way. You'll be plugging them like orange when the time comes, which is what is happening to me and to every of you that is under me today, listening from me. So you can't just wake up and money meets you, because money is looking for that sensitivity and organization and that mindset. That's what it's looking. Then that consciousness, when it becomes positive, it becomes a magnet. But many people people whose consciousness are not heightened. Maybe they are not living in truth. They are not morally sound. What their business encounter and experiences lead to them is discouragement when they have failed in so many fields of life. But because you have been making efforts to be a rich person, don't turn your failure to regrets. Continue pushing. Continue searching. Something is cooking up there, trying to manifest when you position yourself. But when regret comes, that means you have uploaded something in a universal consciousness. But when it is about to descend, it could no longer locate you in that atmosphere you used to upload it. That's another challenge. Like many people who turn failure into regret. But if you have this positive mindset, every failure in your life is telling you that there is something you needed to do you have not gotten right. Don't regret so that you will not block the lessons. Because money does not know you. As soon as you get the principle, you start making it. It's two things. Either you succeed or you fail. So when you follow one direction in a positive direction, over time, that thing that refuses to listen must listen to you based on persistency and the things you uploaded in heaven. I still want to correlate it and the experience and the nature's expression of the story or the wisdom of water and stone. Glory be to God. Water does not have hand. It doesn't have leg. It doesn't have hammer. But over time, based on persistency, it breaks stones and dig a hole on stones. Why? Persistency. So this is see how it is. When your emotion is consistently positive, all the failures you have had in your life, at the end of the day, they will be converted into wealth. Wealth we are talking here is not only counting money, like paper. It's wealth of experience, fat accounts, wealth of understanding, wealth of positive emotion. That there is no problem that will come to you as a businessman that will cause you to fidget, to compromise, to lie, to now say, let me go and look for alternative. Because those experiences is God himself. And those positive actions, they are God himself. So, but people who do not know and did not have this kind of mindset, even when they eventually arrived at being wealthy, they start looking for protection. They start looking for protection. They start joining religion. They start joining witch doctor. They start joining the occult to protect their money. It's a lie. It's not religion that gave you money. It is not occult that gave you money. It is your experience. Your consciousness will enable you to maintain your wealth. What God does if there is a church, if not now, if there were a church, if not now, what church do is what we are doing now. Teach you the principles of making money and guide you on how to use your own inbuilt knowledge and capacity. Not to decree and declare, but to sit you down and give you principles and law. So that when you start making money, that spirit you are generating and the one that is in the one who taught you will now protect your wealth and guide you to move financially forward ever, backward never. That is the reason, unless in time to come, as many as we are, 2 or 3 people came here a rich person. The rest came poor. Yet we have made them millionaires. We have made them millionaires authoritatively with principle. And they cannot hold back, giving back to the church because we gave them the principles. And these are the key they didn't have. So today we are teaching financial class, teaching salvation messages, teaching all the things. Do you think it is the Bible that gave me strength? No. It's my own gaps, my own personal experiences that formed to become a Bible. So when you come and tell me you are a poor person, I will not say, hey, because you didn't go to school. I won't say, hey, because you are not this. No. I will try to use a universal principle to capture you in area of your interest. Whether you go to school or did not go to school, you must be successful. The only thing we need is truth. True of us? Okay. Now we are now standing at the center of the world as well. To do what? Those people who did not have this mindset, who had been disoriented growing up as a child, that it is only when you go to school that you can become a rich person. It is only when you become an occult man that you can be a rich person. It's only when you sow a seed that you can become a rich person. It is only when you kill or steal or become a ritualist that you can become a rich person. We are now putting a wage to tell them that those things are lies. That through these things, come, let us give you the principle which you have processed. So that you learn how to become a rich person by going to the school of God here on earth, which we are into it. That's what we are doing. Glory be to God. So the e-money, the level and the amount of wealth you control depends on your positivity and emotion. Your consciousness about that power and the capacity of being a rich person. Your level of consciousness. Now, I've told you time without number, you know nobody owns money. The government owns money. So money goes to any person who has the principle and have that consciousness and awareness. If you want, use the time you use to solve problem and to think on how to solve problem, go and use it and stay in the mountain. Come back and become richer than the person who is always in the shop, thinking and solving the problems. If you want, pray and fast and use your last card and go and sow a seed in the church. If you don't become a poor person, then I'm not a man of God. You become poor. So why you should go to church, are you there? Is to sit down, you go there, growing up as a child, they develop your consciousness and the principles of making wealth and give you the guidance on how to begin to upload as a childhood. As a child, in your childhood, you begin now to upload that consciousness that money and wealth is as easy as ABCD, which I was discussing. Onima has just left. They finished their programming yesterday. I had a meeting with them today. None of them have known what is disappointment. And in whatever they do, they don't factor money as a problem. Thank God, it has been exemplified on the life of Jeremiah, whom they gave offer a job of 250,000 naira per month. Someone who is not a graduate, he rejected it without even telling me. Why? Because his consciousness and awareness of the possibility of making money is larger than the person who wanted to employ him. He refused to be a slave. Consciousness. It is the consciousness that made me graduating as an economist without any carryover, all right? I could say I'm one of the best graduating students in my class. But I don't know how to write an application because I resisted and nobody has the capacity to employ me. Did you understand what I'm saying? What is that telling you? Consciousness. It's those things I uploaded in the spiritual world that is popping up now effortlessly. So, and those people who have not had that mindset of being wealthy, come to us and zero yourself to nobody. Because if you are 30 and 30, 35 to 40, and you have not have this authority and consciousness, all right? Even if you get money, you are like a fly in a bottle. Because that your money will not transcend the future. Because it's not built on experiences. It came by chance. And whatever comes by chance will disappear by chance. So enduring wealth comes. Or is that wealth that came from the world beyond? That pour as a rain. That's where you see the working of the blessings of God maketh rich and add no sorrow in it. And that is what we said. Power of wisdom is catch me if you can. No amount of prayer or fasting or enchantment or spirit can make me to be poor on earth. No amount of prayer or enchantment or witches and wizards can make any New Jerusalemite, these children raised here, to be poor. I remember telling you people that the point is coming and now is, before now, when you tell somebody, a little child or someone, about a wealthy man, a rich man, he will tell you, what is rich? You have to go to dictionary to find what is wealth and riches. Why? The father is poor. The church is poor. The next neighbor is poor. The friend is poor. So they have not known how a rich man behaves. You remember the childhood experience so many of you that grow in the village? Our parents sent that mentality that even pawpaws in the garden, when they plug pawpaw, they bring the best for sale and keep the bad one for us to eat. Is that not an upload? I'm asking. Is that not an upload? You learn it emotionally, unknown to you. Just like people from Hausa land and those that are from Igbo land, if you don't polish your English, when you speak, they will know where you are coming from. Whether you are an Igbo or whether you are Hausa or Yoruba, based on what? Your intonation. How did you learn that intonation? It came naturally unknown to you in the environment you grew up. Naturally. So anything about nature and God and spirit is through assimilation and unconsciousness. You begin to imbibe it. A child that grew up seeing mother and the father fighting every time is going to have problem in the marriage, whether he likes it or not. Because if it is the father that is always beating the mother, and the person is a girl or a boy, right? He will still know it's a culture to beat a woman. Unless he gets that awareness and consciousness that this thing is wrong. And begin now to upload a positive emotion to counter it. I know of a person who is a New Jerusalemite. I know he will be watching me or he will watch me later. He has graduated in university and said that he was going to be a celibate before he encountered in New Jerusalem. He said that if it is this type of marriage between my father and my mother, I grew up seeing, that's how marriage is. I prefer not to get married. He has sealed it that he was not going to marry, not until he came here. And now hit square truth. Then he now decided to reprogram himself and begin to consider to get married. Where did he pick that understanding and emotion? From the parents. He picked it from there. Okay, look at what is happening now in the religious sector, Christendom, so to say. All right? What is happening? How many pastors are divorcees? They are up to 8 in Nigeria. 8 prominent pastors. Then those that are still staying together with their wife are struggling to maintain it so that he will not join the bandwagon. 8 prominent. These are the people leading crowds. Now, if you're having problem with your wife, how can that person cancel you? Impossible. Okay, people in Roman Catholic, they pick that consciousness. How can a reverend father reconcile those that are married, having challenges in marriage, when you don't have the experience, when it is not uploaded in your consciousness, which we say that experience is God? How do you reconcile them? You find out that these are bundles of fake life people are living. So now the poverty in African setting is a mindset. It's generated by their emotion and their consciousness of error. So if you ask a child now, how does a poor man, a rich man behave? He doesn't know. He has to go to dictionary and go to Google and begin to check what is riches, what is wealthy. Many of them don't even know the difference between riches and wealth. That's why after reading stories of the white men, they start killing themselves in order to get paper, which is riches, not wealth. Wealth includes morality, stability in finances. Wealth, a wealthy man, you have to include morality, God factor, and stability. A wealthy man might not have cash, but can never be poor. But a rich man can be poor because economy affects the riches of a person. But economy of a nation can never affect the wealth of a man. Did you get the science? So a child now, because of that mindset of poverty, if you ask a child to write essay about poverty, he will write, if you say 300 pages, he will write 500. Why? Because everything about him is poverty. Now it is our time, which we are doing, that we are going to revise it. Where our children, if you say you are poor, they start asking you, what is poverty? How does a poor man behave? He needed explanation from a poor person, because the father is not poor. The people he meets in the church is not poor. Everything around them is, there is no poverty there. Mindset. We discussed it in financial state, right? When we're talking about that wealth is a state of consciousness. We are still telling you that the barricade you create within yourself is based on your capacity to think. You were talking of my son. What did my son say? I overheard you there. What did he say?
My wife she told my wife where was her car.
Where?
Was her own car.
Okay, her own car.
That he wouldn't enter their car. So my wife said that she hasn't got a car yet. He said, what are you waiting for? My wife said that she didn't have the money yet. He said, go to my father, I will give you money immediately.
Have you seen it? You see the mindset? Clap for Jesus. All right? So, to the standard they were being formed of, they have known that every wife must have a car. And if a wife does not have a car, he can go to another man who has and collect money to buy. As simple as that. You get the point? So I think this thing dovetailed to what we are talking about, that state of consciousness. So he talked about it carelessly. There is nothing to bother about. Go to my father will give you a car, money to buy a car. Why? It's simple. He has never asked for Indomie and there is none, or school fees and there is none. That's mindset, state of consciousness created. So poverty has disappeared in their life as children. Are we there? Now, the same thing happened, or the story of my daughter, who is 8 now, right? Uwama. The day they didn't come with car, they climbed through the pedestrian bridge. They were all rejoicing. They are catching fun, janglova. That's what they call pedestrian bridge. Lights will climb and come down again and meet them and climb up and come down in pedestrian bridge. So it was a fun to them. All right? Then, some other day, I was walking. I told you people this story. I came out of the car and told Uwama, okay, let's go. Now, he jumped out and said, hey, the sun is too severe. I said, look at you. It's severe. You forgot that there was a time your father was a solar panel. Both under the rain, under the sun, we are walking to make sure that you people don't struggle or have that consciousness. So a point is going to come, our children, when you say poverty, they go to dictionary before they could know what is poverty, because it cannot be found anywhere. And that is mindset, and that is consciousness. So all the barriers religion has kept in wealth, the occult has kept in how to be wealthy and successful, society has formed. We came to break that. You know, there is something I discovered in this recent time when there was this tsunami that happened. Tornado, they said, is a cloud seeding. All right? Yes. What is that telling you? So somebody can create artificial rain. And the natural rain you have in you, you cannot upload it. So what we came on earth to do is to fertilize the earth. To cause rain of purity in the human consciousness to begin to fall. Purity, perfection, easy life, to upload it in the consciousness of men. Many people are seeing so many men of God now confessing. They think it's ordinary. It's our work in the spiritual world. We destroy the gods of religion. So all of them are coming out. But people there who are not at the back end will not see that it is what we are doing in the spiritual world that is making them to confess. So this is what we came. You see, now we are few in number, but I'm not perturbed. Why? I keep on talking as if I'm talking to 1 million people. The reason I'm doing that is because any secret I reveal and crack, any mystery I crack, is uploaded in the spiritual world. I'm consciously doing it. Any secret I reveal, explain, is uploaded. Then the heaven has known that this thing has passed through the spiritual world and come to the physical world and will go up. So my rain is falling. There are certain things angels cannot do. So I go to the spiritual world, bring it, drop it on earth, and send it back. So as I'm talking now, I'm talking to billions of people unseen. By the word I'm speaking, I make sure I don't make mistake so that it will be accepted in the universal consciousness. But if I didn't demystify it, nobody will be able to see it there. You have to pass through processes before you can arrive. And the processes are passed. But now, any mystery I demystify and crack, and any secret I reveal, heaven will know that there have been a flesh in the physical world who cracked this. Then it will be uploaded and kept for any other person wherever you are in the universe. You can contact our message. In your quiet time, when you are meditative and straight forward and sincere in heart, this our message will echo to you in the spiritual world. Yes. It will echo in the spiritual world. So when you see me, even on Thursday's message service, you see me, there is no people I continue talking. No, I'm conscious of what I'm doing. I'm uploading. As far as it is a revealed mystery, a crack, I'm doing soul seeding. Perfection. I'm sowing that seed in the universal consciousness. When the time comes, a child will be at home, think, pa. It will draw the emotion and the frequency. You will see it as a vision, can see it as an apparition, can see it as an intuition, can see it as an impression. So we continue uploading. So what we really want to let us know is that this is the last era of human existence. We must drop down heaven here on earth. That the will of God will be done here on earth as it is in heaven. Where life become easy, no killing, no stealing. Then if they insist, we build our own city and live in it. Then from our city, we can now spring out. So that people will know that there are certain cities called City of the New Jerusalem, where the saints lived in the physical world and where everything is perfect. So by then, people will now come to learn how we arrived at where we are. Glory be to God. Glory be to God. So, spirituality, you cannot be successfully rich or wealthy without being spiritual. And there is no way you can download anything from the spiritual world without emotion. As we have email, so we have what? Emotion. Because emotion is the movement, causes something to move. That is the reason a child cannot be wealthy by birth. That consciousness, he has to repeatedly meditate over it. The only difference, like my child now, we have used as an example. All right? The only difference is that he's no longer going to engage in trial and error. There is already a process through which he's going to follow. So that the things that took me 30 years to arrive, in 10 years he has arrived. But he has to pass through a process and through experience to generate it. Because what is going to drop down his own words, which he can be able to control, is his emotion. That's what we are saying. What you left for your children, destroy them. But what you left in them, make them. So, as they are growing up now, I'm not going to live my life for them. They will not know that I have money to the extent of meeting their wants. I'm going to meet only their needs. You get the point? But as for experiences, they have to generate their own, create their own cloud, their own experience, and store it in their own spiritual cloud and create their own word there. So that in time of harvesting, they will not go to another person's garden, they will plug from their own emotion. This is the reason many people who don't bring God factor in wealth, who don't bring molarity in wealth, when a father dies, the children get grounded. Those people you have heard being great men, according to them in the outside world, outside in New Jerusalem, how is their children? Did the children continue where they stopped? The answer is no. The reason is because the father left something for them, but didn't leave anything in them. So when they go to their emotional space, there is nothing stored there to harvest. They are like vegetable. The only thing they know is how to sell the property of their father and use it to kill themselves, dragging inheritance. Why? They don't have markets to go to draw their own wealth. So when you are raising children, as we are doing, you allow them pass through experiences. This is him now, Onuma, one of my sons. He's now a CEO of a company running it. Ask him how he passed through training, one at a time. If he comes back complaining and say you have not even started. Why? God is not training you to settle you. He's training you not to be yourself. He's training you to be him, to be like him, to be his representative. So if you don't have anything in you and understanding, you will say God is harsh and wicked. Jude, you are a very good example. Jude came to a point and told me, this is your God. No. He's so harsh on me. I say he's not harsh on you. Because God does not settle you. He doesn't settle you. He frames you into his being. So that when he is not around, you can solve his problems. You can solve his problem. You can represent him. If I did not get it the hard way, I've told you people, the hard way we mean is not H-A-R-D. Hard way we mean is H, what? A-R-D-W-A, right? Okay. Yeah? Praise the Lord. Glory be to God. Why are you laughing? Okay, the meaning I gave it. Yes. Hard way. Hard way means practicalization of that which you know. Downloading your emotion through your personal experience and the things which you gabigaze. Your gabigaze. It is through that you generate emotion. And when you are passing through experiences and you are conquering, a smoke is coming out of you. You know, when you run, you sweat. That sweat is like that emotion. So when you are engaging on duty, you are generating positive emotion depending on the state of your mind. And that thing which you are releasing, based on your understanding, is being uploaded in the spiritual world. They are seeds you are sowing in the state of consciousness. Which if nobody is even seeing you, a point will come, those things will begin to speak. That's what they call grace. Generated grace. Uploaded in the spiritual world. So if I had not passed through hard way, did you understand it? Hard ways. Not this one. Because I could say, in all I have done in life, I've never suffered for one day. But to a common man, it is suffering. But so long as I was not complaining, I was determined and focused and resolute, then it was a fun which I was making sure that the software, which is your emotion, will be turned into hardware. You know, in computer we have hardware and software. Software is that your emotion. The hardware is putting that which you know into practice. So now, why do you think religious people are suffering? They deal with software. They don't want to print it into hardware. Nobody wants to go through experiences. But you claim and say to prophesy. So whatever they say, you claim it. Put it into practice, no way. So every software must be translated into hardware. And that hardware is the point when you begin to interact with nature, relate with your fellow human beings in a godly manner, relate with your customers in a godly way, relate with your apprentice in a godly way, and you become a teacher around, then you are generating experiences that are going to speak for you. And then you begin now to see the things which is not bringing it into being. If you have positive emotion, I've explained it there, but let me explain it again. The word motion, we have locomotion. When you remove E, it becomes physical. When you put E, it becomes invisible. That's why we have electricity. You can't see electric currents. This E is electronics. The thing that powers electronics is invisible. Then E-words. We have now generated what we call E-words. Now, this E, which is your emotion, is still invisible. Email is still invisible. So at this point of E-words, that is what puts Satan into confusion. It cannot attack you because your power is not coming from what is seen. So you cannot be successfully and sustainably and peacefully and contentedly rich without these E-words. It is your positive emotion will bring you there. Now, all these people now that are confessing after cheating people and deceiving people, you know what? They have gotten the money, but their conscience is empty. And they are going close to their grave. They begin to confess. The money is there, but the money could not give them peace, couldn't give them protection. But going into religion at first, they thought that money is the only thing they need. They have gotten the money. Life is not saved because their emotion is negative, not positive. The American person that confessed, all right, the same thing. I don't want to call names. Our own is to whom it may concern. All right? Okay. You've gotten the money. You have the private jets. You have houses. Millions are now following you. But your soul is empty. That is hell, number one. Then they come to the public and say, no, please, I'm sorry. I've gotten all those things. Now, but what we are telling them now is for them to be truly rescued. Because people can forgive you, but nature have not forgiven you. People can praise you and tell you a humble person, but nature know that you are crooked, and they will deal with you when after you shall have left this earth. So, if you want your conscience for your repentance to become genuine, you bring those things. You tax collectors. Yes, that's restitution. What did Nicodemus do it? Is it Zacchaeus? What did Zacchaeus do it? In the book of Matthew, chapter 19. What did he do? He collected and said, everybody I have collected, I give back to you. So for we to know that your confession of prosperity gospel is error, you have to leave your church and start afresh. Resign and share those things or bring it to us so that we use it. in the right way and teach you the right way. So those things is just facial, artificial confession. You have to pay restitution as Zacchaeus did. Bring everything you have cheated on people, return it to them, split it, use it into productivity. That is when God can accept you. These guys will suffer, I'm telling you, and those following them. So, it is emotion that does what? That we use to download wealth from the spiritual world to the physical world. If you don't have emotion, you cannot download. Because it is still emotion that we use to upload. If you go to a computer now, you see something arrow here. Alright? Okay. If you go to the Star of David, you see two triangles that is here, like this. The one here. Sorry. Another one is this way. The Star of David. That's the Israeli flag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it's two triangles, up and down. So what is this telling you? As above, so below. Then computer is here doing its own up and down. So you upload with emotion and download with emotion. So human emotion now in this context is data. Glory be to God. So when your data got finished, your word stops. It starts rolling. It starts running around. Are we getting the wisdom? Because it is email, it is internet and network you use to send email. Alright? Okay. So when you have a negative emotion that it is not easy to be a poor man, what are you downloading? What are you uploading? Poverty. So you go to poverty consciousness, realm of consciousness. When it is time for it to come down, what is coming down is what? So it is what you upload by your experience, your thoughts, your deeds, your doings, your words, your action is the things you are going to fall down on. Whatsoever a man soweth, that he reaps. What you upload is what you are going to download. But I was telling you people, you buy data to download things, okay? What we are using here to download is emotion. So if you are not in a positive state of consciousness, you will download wrong things. Let me quote the book of Job, chapter 3, verse 25. He said, those things I fear greatly. That is what eventually came to me. And Paul said, who will deliver me from this problem? When I think doing good, I see myself doing evil. Who can deliver me? The reason is because the heart and emotion was negative. He's still remembering the bad life he lived, instead of linking to that new realm. He didn't upload anything in the past. So what he was downloading is negativity. Are we getting it? This is financial class as well as the science class. Understand? Okay, so now, why a child is not wealthy from birth, all right, or cannot control words, you know why? Because he doesn't have emotion. He has not uploaded anything. That's what I was still telling you people about grace. Religious people say that grace is an unmerited favor. We now say by John chapter 10, anything you did not merit, if you touch it, you are a criminal. So grace is accumulated favor. So you have to generate that grace. When you upload it, Then when you upload it, it gets to the universal consciousness. Then when it is you are downloading, you download together the one of the angels and the one of Jesus Christ begin to come as far as you can control. Because your grace has already linked up to the universal grace of that which Jesus taught. Are we there? But if your emotion and your grace is negative, so to say, your emotion is negative, that your frequency and your thought pattern and your emotion have not matched the emotion of Jesus Christ, you cannot upload. If you are uploading, you are not going to heavenly state of consciousness, you are going to hell state of consciousness. So what you are going to download is the emotion of the Indichies and your ancestors. Are we getting that? Okay. So that is the website you go. Well, when you have positive emotion, you can now upload. That's why the Bible recorded it. The prayer of a sinner is abomination before God. So then they further to say in the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 8, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. So the purity of emotion is what is going to, when you upload it, it will go up there and bring down both your own grace and the Christ grace. But you must generate your own grace before you can upload the one to attract the bigger one. So this being the last stage, the end time of human suffering, is the coming of the New Jerusalem with this teaching. Why is it the end time? Now, men were making wealth from the earth cross in the Stone Age and in the early age, right? Where mineral resources, natural and mineral resources, was the source of their wealth. But as time advances, people left this and enter into space. Through internet, radio waves. They start making money with waves and space, the air, the ether. That invisible element in the spiritual world that cannot be beheld by human eyes. People begin to make money through it. So that was an era. Are we understanding it? That was an era people were. Now, the other people was the occults who bypassed these ether waves and were using spirits to make money in the spiritual world. Spiritual world. So the occult people were making money, and when they were making money, a point came. They now discovered this spiritual world. I mean, the space world. And begin to download things scientifically, internet, design things. Now, they now go to Earth crust based on the information they get from the spiritual world. Spiritual